All right, welcome back to the second episode of the Why Your Server Hates You podcast. It's December 18th, I believe. We got John back on, and tonight we're going to talk about big tops. And for those of you who don't know what a big top is, it's basically a group of, what would you say, 8 or more?
Yeah, that sounds good.
About 8 or more. And, you know, it sounds kind of evil bitching about this because you think if you're not a server, oh, what if a bunch of our friends want to come in and hang out and eat somewhere? What's the big fucking deal? Well, the big fucking deal is, especially if you work at a place that's, you know, fast-paced, you know, a lot of people come in and out, don't accept reservations, you're going to get maybe a party of 20 walk in and say, hey, can we get a place to eat and sit over here? It's like, motherfuckers, we don't have designated rooms for all of you to sit there and, you know, come in at the same time. And honestly, we're not magical. We can't just take an order of this many people and have the kitchen cook it and put it out in time while they're dealing with other guests, you know, individually. So, I mean, it's not an impossible thing, but there's a lot of things people don't understand about, you know, courtesy and etiquette and what you really need to do if you want to bring 20 of your closest friends to a restaurant and have good service. And I think the worst is, for me, is senior big tops for me are pretty bad. I don't know how many senior big tops you've had, Mr. John, but
humorous amount.
Especially when they're all separate checks people and you're the only server, and they each give you, like, say their bill's like $14 and they give you a $20 each of them, and they're like, I want my change back. So you're like, okay, this means I'm getting less than $5 or $6. And, you know, as a server, you'll bring maybe roughly $60 to $40 in change on you some of the time. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I fucking don't, because I'm usually broke because I'm a server. And so I'll go to like the bar or the host desk to get change from them. And if I'm dealing with a bunch of old ladies and getting change for them separately, that takes a long fucking time. And for some reason, during the checkout procedure, old people are the most impatient when they have all the fucking time in the world to, you know, pretty much die. You know? And the thing about it is, and they're always bitching about something like, it's cold in here. It's like, no, you're fucking dying. You know what I mean?
Everybody knows the server trick to handle that one.
Oh, right? What's that?
Okay, you know when a table comes up and they're like, oh, it's too cold or it's too hot. You go and walk over to the manager, make sure they see you. And you're like, hey, I'm just going to talk to you for a minute. We're going to look like we're talking about something good. The manager usually just nods their head, and then you walk away, come back up to the table, and goes, all right, we got that change for you. Should feel better any minute. Is that better for you now? And they always go, oh, yeah, it's way better. And you're like, well, I didn't do shit.
And also, you know what? Meat spoils slower in the fridge, so I'm just kind of extending your life a little bit if you look at it that way. And usually if you're a server and if you're tatted up like, say, me, usually you're going to have to cover your tattoos with more clothing, which is going to be incredibly uncomfortable because you're walking back and forth. And also that sucks to people who see servers in a restaurant covering up their tattoos while you're one of those squares who say, I don't like seeing tattoos, it looks gross and like, yeah, whatever the fuck. You know what? I can understand someone had a vagina or a dick eating a swastika, you know, out the pee hole tattoo. Like, that's something offensive or whatever, but honestly, covering up your tattoos and wearing more clothes is just going to make you sweat, and then you're going to have pit stains, and you're going to be sweating on people's food, and that's actually worse than seeing the tattoo.
Or you have the people when you're covering it up and they notice that you're wearing an abnormal amount of clothing than the other servers, and then they ask you about it. Oh, why are you wearing that? And then you tell them, oh, it's to cover a tattoo. And they're like, oh, good, I never wanted to see it anyways. And you're just, really? I hope I ruined your meal by letting you know I have a tattoo on me.
And that's incredibly fucking offensive, too. And, you know, I mean, I remember one time I worked at this place, we worked together at this place, and they wanted all tattoos covered up by any means possible. And some people put on fucking makeup to cover them, or Band-Aids and shit. They're like, why don't you go get some Band-Aids? It's like, do you want me to look like a fucking burn victim? Is that more suitable for guests to see than that? You know what I mean? You're thinking too much about the policy instead of the reality of the scenario. And let's get back to the big tops again. You know, I was bitching about seniors, and you know, and people who know me at work knows I fucking cannot stand most seniors. And the last big top I had, it was kind of funny because it was like a 20 top of people, literally buses pulled up, and there was walkers on everyone, and the walkers were actually obstructing people's, how they get to tables and shit. They were lined up like a biker gang, like the bicycles.
They had some of those brass nuts hanging off them.
Yeah. And honestly, all the management was laughing. They thought it was funny I had to deal with these people. But honestly, they were all really sweet. They were really patient. I even helped walk them all out, and so I was anticipating being mad as shit. That's my positive note. I'm going to stop that positive shit for right now. But the worst table, big tops of fucking women. With, if you get a couple males in there, they're going to supervise the scenario and go, hey, maybe you should stop being such a fucking bitch. Or maybe we should go home.
Corral them out.
And also, here's something you never see with big tops of women. Usually there'll be some guy who'll be like, hey, I got the bill. Or I got most of the bill. There's no fucking female I've ever seen on earth saying, like a top of 10, 15 or more, saying, hey, buddy, I got it. I got this one. It's all on me. Doesn't fucking happen. All right?
Wait, no. I do have a situation that trumps that. It does happen sometimes. But it's always going to be some sort of ritualistic, trying to stand above the other woman, like, oh, we are higher class. And then they have this little, like, cat fight over the bill, which makes it so much more comfortable to deal with.
That's so fucking pathetic. I actually had a bid between these two chicks. They're probably married to each other or something, and it was kind of cool because one of them's like, I got the bill. I'll give you this much money. And it was like a bid on who's going to tip me more. So I played ball. I'm like, fuck it. What you got? And it went up to like $30-$40, which was what their bill was. And I'm like, sold. And the other one just looked at me like such a dick. It's like, you guys are both wasting your money on it. You could have both went in on it. You're obviously sleeping together. You know what I mean? I don't see what the big fucking deal is. You're just wasting money. Not really. I guess if it goes back to him, I guess my point's kind of bullshit. But you get the point. Whatever point it was I had. Hey, speaking of women, did you ever hear that rumor about that Oprah statement about how she made some crack on her show about how a server should only get tipped 10% because... Did you hear about that?
The way I heard it was in reference to... hard economic times and all that.
Yeah.
She told people to save money during these hard economic times. When you go out to eat, don't tip your server 15%. Tip them 10 or less to save money. In my opinion, don't go out to eat.
Yeah,
just don't do it.
Absolutely.
You're wasting our time. Generally, if you're tipping less than 10%, we're paying for you to eat there now because buskers have to get paid, food runners have to get paid, bartenders have to get paid, sometimes cooks have to get paid. It all depends where you work.
And just to clear that up is like, what he means by that is servers pay these fuckers. I mean, restaurants will save money and say, you know what, we'll give the bussers like an hourly wage and just, let the fucking servers tip them. And the thing that sucks about that, not to go off too much of a tangent, but then business will be like, well, if it's dead, we'll have the bussers clean and do all this bizarre shit so they're not helping the servers. So the server's like, well, this fucking asshole didn't fucking bust my table. I'm going to fucking hose him. So it's kind of like the restaurants getting out of, paying for it. But anyway, back to the Oprah thing. I was trying to look for that quote online because I wanted to bring it up tonight. I couldn't find it anywhere. I found angry YouTube videos about people bitching at Oprah and all this shit. So whether it happened or not, she covered her ass. Because what I'm assuming happened is she said that because look at her demographic. A bunch of fucking women who want people to tell them shit they want to hear. That's the fucking perfect thing for cheap ass bitches who watch Oprah to hear is, yeah, the servers understand because they want to hear that. That's just like they soup in their fucking panties when they hear that shit. And and then Oprah probably, oh fuck, some people are fucking mad at me because I didn't realize how many people in this country work in the fucking food service industry. People are eating out more. There's less home-cooked meals because we got so much shit to do and so much shit to consume and buy. So she kind of fucked up and retracted it. So I think she probably just erased all that evidence, if that did happen. Because I found another thing on her page that she wrote, this is what you tip people during the holidays. And it was like, I think 18% for servers, something percent for mailmen. And I was like, I was reading that, I'm like, fuck, should I be tipping my mailman?
I never even thought about that.
Dude, me neither. So my mailman, he's probably been like, that fucking dick. So I'm going to fucking tip him this year. Shit. Or maybe if I do, he's never heard of it either, and he's going to like, oh, you think I'm some kind of fucking pity case?
I'm probably going to shoot myself in the foot, but I have to go for it here.
Yeah,
I have to go for it. We're speaking of Oprah. We're speaking of demographics. I have to go there.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all wait tables, and especially, most of the audience is going to be listening to this, but there's no right way to say this. There's no PC way to say this. Black people don't tip that well. It is a stereotype. It is.
Oh, I'm glad
it's proven wrong.
You know what?
I have to go there. Oprah saying 10%. I hear that from many other black person. I kind of expect it.
You know what's funny? And I want to make a comment on that because I heard that too. And I'm going to slightly disagree with you. Kind of and kind of not, but you'll see where I'm going with this. Is because before I started serving, a friend of mine was like, oh, black people don't tip. I'm like, okay. Maybe so. Maybe because I'm slightly Caucasian. And, maybe that's affected, like, fuck this guy or something. But one thing I did learn is black cats and white cats are exactly alike. For example, ghetto black cats are going to tip less, just like white trash white cats. To me, sure. White cats and black cats are both on the same fucking page. If they're ghetto and white trash, they're not going to tip you. They're going to ask you stupid questions, and they're going to run you back and forth for ranch and bitch about how you don't have fucking Mountain Dew. You know what I mean? But it's like a class issue, I
do agree with that. And I was, during my time where I was inundated with this stereotype the most was, of course, working in the South. And I'm at, that demographic is the lower class. And that's just kind of the way it was where I was at. But I could see that, being in a lower demographic white area, I'd be saying the same thing about the hillbillies, rednecks.
Fuck yeah. But that's a funny point because I have other cats, friends when they were black, and who I've worked with that said, dude, the host keeps fucking seeing me black people. Just because I'm black. I got to make some fucking money. And it was more like, because the place we worked at the time was one of those food chain restaurants where they just come in to be assholes. Where, it's a class issue. And we live by some places that are mostly fucking like yuppie fucking Norwegian fucking white people. So, they're not all fucking black. So it's like a different thing. It's like when I worked at this restaurant in the Midwest, and I said, hey man, I was making a racial comment. I was like, I have no problem with this group of people. He goes, oh yeah? Well, I didn't have this problem with this group of people till I moved there. And I didn't have this problem with white people till I moved to a white neighborhood. So it's like, all people are really assholes in their own way. And so when you get near a lot of them, you start to hate them, whether they're white or black or whatever the fuck. It just humans are fucking dicks. And it just all goes down to how we're taught and we're bred and how we're growing up. Because it's just like when we're talking about that whole child issue last fucking week about how servers have to take orders from kids with shitty social skills. The parents aren't teaching their kids shit, and they're going to make them assholes. And possibly whatever race they are, they're going to make another race not like them because they weren't growing up right.
You've opened up so many stories.
Sorry,
just flooding in on me now.
You know what's funny? Because I was going to save that racial topic for
another day. We can touch on it another day. I was going to have
one of my black friends come on, and so I would feel less bad about this. Because, you're black. People are going to bitch at me because you're here. And so, fuck it, we already opened that up, so it doesn't matter. Because it's not like someone's going to go, you're fucking racist because you mentioned black people. No. I didn't pull a Megyn Kelly. Did you see her on fucking Fox News?
No, I didn't.
She was all fucking bitching about, she's like, you know what? Fucking Santa Claus is white. Jesus is white. She's all just passionately pissed about it because all the Fox's news is like, there's a war on Christmas. There's no fucking war on Christmas. There's people who say Happy Holidays and say a Merry Christmas because...
Oh my goodness.
Just all that shit. And she was all ranting about how Jesus is white, and Santa's white. It's like, probably fucking not. Americans just fucking did that so their fucking freaky white Christian people could fucking feel better about spending money during the holidays.
Well, do you think white families want to imagine a black man coming down their chimney in the middle of the night? Like, I think we have problems with all this. It doesn't make it better that it's a white guy, but...
Yeah,
it doesn't make it any better.
It is kind of... That sounds like a George Zimmerman Christmas book. I shot Santa coming down the stairs because I felt I was in danger. Oh, this fucking country. You know what this sucks about this country is? We're going off from the serving thing, but it's like the media makes us feel like, what's weird is like I remember watching like news shows and feeling weird about racial issues, and then when I meet someone of different races when I grew up, I'd be like, I don't feel that way. But the media makes me feel like uncomfortable when I watch stories and episodes, because they'll like focus on some kind of death or some kind of assault and blame people for it, and. For example, like the profiling shit. Yeah, of course you profile everyone because you know how everyone acts. But one time I got out of work and me and my friend Fuck, I'll say his real name because there's so many fucking names people listen. Me and my friend Steve went out, and I was wearing a hoodie and shit, and this cop drove by us. I mean, granted, we just got done smoking fucking weed, but oh well, who cares? And the cop gave me that look, like, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna fucking talk to us for something, you know what I mean? He's gonna stop and fuck with us. And he comes up and goes, oh, so what you doing? I'm like, oh, we just got out of work. We were just cooking down in the kitchen. And he's like, well, someone just robbed a bank and you look just like him. Luckily, the fucking owner was right outside to corroborate our story. And the next day in the paper, some dude was wearing a hoodie, looking somewhat Mediterranean like me with a fucking 5 o'clock shadow and shit. And I was like, fuck, man. I go, I feel bad for all those black cats in the fucking shitty areas where cops will just see them and go, oh, probably that fucking guy. You know what I mean?
It's a shame.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Well, we went on that topic.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to bounce back a little bit to the big cops because I got one there.
Yeah.
So, working out in place in the South, and it was like 40 people. So there was 2 servers tag teaming it. You know, those events take a while. You're kind of working down the line of all the people taking the orders. And I'm at basically the matriarch of the table, Grandma. This is all of their families. I'm taking her order. And the guy behind me, who's a part of the party, grabs me by my arm and spins me around and demands for me to go grab ranch for him. Don't touch your server like that. You know, there's a little difference between a casual, shake your hand or whatever, in passing, touching his shoulder or something like that. But don't grab him and turn him around. It's crossing the line. So I looked him straight in the eye. I was like, don't ever touch me. And I turned right back to the old lady and gave her my kind smile and continued to take her order. Well, she just glared at the guy. And then the rest of the party ended up chewing him out for the rest of the time. It was just like, really? Was your ranch so important to interrupt Grandma's dinner order?
Was he Southern?
He didn't even have his food yet.
I want fucking ranch!
Just need to pour it down my throat for a little while.
I didn't have the willpower enough to not stuff a fry down my fucking throat without the fucking ranch in front of me, and I don't want to make that mistake again. Oh God. You know what's weird? This is the holiday season, and usually that kind of shit is fuel for the podcast and talking about shit, but for the first 2 weeks, people were actually nice. They're tipping. And I honestly, I don't say fucking Merry Christmas to fucking anyone. I don't say Happy Holidays to anyone, because when that becomes a thing, then I'm fucking annoyed. You know what I mean? But last 2 nights, some people were fucking dickbags. I had some guy come in. He was with, it was a top six people at a table. It was one of those older guys who wasn't trying to be mean, but he thought he was funny, so he keeps talking to me and making stupid jokes, while the other family members are kind of politely chuckling, to humor him. And he kept saying fucking stupid shit to me, because he's like, oh, you're Italian? You ever think of changing your name to Tony? Just stupid shit like that. And he's like, he talked about how he was Scandinavian or something, so I fucking made fun of him and asked him if he likes lutefisk and shit like that. But he brought in a coupon from fucking 4 years ago. It was 2010.
Wow.
And he goes, can I use this? I'm like, absolutely not. It's incredibly expired. Well, they said, yeah, we can use coupons whenever we want. They don't expire. When was that? 4 fucking years ago? No, and they wasted my fucking time. And other servers actually felt pity for me, and they were coming up and pre-bussing the table. For those of you who don't know what pre-bussing means, grabbing a plate. You just get out of the fucking way. Actually, let's go to a pre-bussing topic, because that's actually kind of a good topic. Because some people get offended by this. If you're in a restaurant that likes to, get people in and out, not necessarily to rush them, but also out of a courtesy, like, if you're done eating food and the food's sitting in your fucking face, it's nice for a server, hey, can I get this out of your way? So you have elbow room, literally. Or have room for your drinks. Or maybe get rid of a couple other your empty beer glasses so you don't look like a fucking alcoholic, which you are.
Well, even to expand on that, also, people don't realize that there is a difference between casual dining and fine dining.
Okay.
In fine dining, you're going to go into a restaurant and they won't clear all the plates until every single person is finished. When you go to a casual restaurant, the server is forced to remove the plate the second that they are done with it. That's not the server going up and going, oh, I want to do this right now. No, that's what you have to do. And so I don't know why people get all bent out of shape in regards to that. If you really wanted to keep your plate, just say, no, I'd rather keep my plate. Or stab them with a fork, we can go there again. That solves a lot of things.
That weirdo six-stop also is... Well, I was trying to catch him out because I got sat simultaneously while I'm fucking listening to this guy talk to me about shit, or thinking he's funny, slipping in shit. And he goes, well, how come you guys shut down my wetland project? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I mean, we came in and kicked some signs down. What the fuck are you talking about? He's like, well, I came in there for a charity event, and you didn't fucking support it. And like, You know, look, honestly, the business I work for, they do a little charity shit. They help, all but like, there's a fucking limit to how much time you could spend doing that. And honestly, bothering me about it, the server, is a waste of fucking time. And it just makes you look fucking stupid because, yes, asshole, I made this decision while I was on my throne with gargoyles chained to the armrest. While I had the posture, lurked over like Mr. Burns with my hands in the pyramid of evil thought contemplation. It didn't fucking happen. Like, fuck you. It's just like when people bitch about something changing on your menu. And the most pathetic thing is people bitch about the most pathetic things. For example, you took onion rings off your menu. God, that's horrible. Drive 2 blocks and go to a fucking Jack in the Box. That'll solve that fucking issue. Jesus Christ, this is a sit-down restaurant. Or, you changed your French fries. People get fucking just morally offended by that.
It's even better is when you haven't changed the product. And they insist that you have. And you're just like, no. I've served you every time you've come in. You are crazy.
Oh, God. Or the people who are just have spice allergy issues. Oh, is this not really allergy issues? Just spice issues. How spicy is this? I'm like...
That is the most horrible question to ask somebody.
How
spicy is this? Well, I eat a habanero and I'm good with it. So
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what to tell you right
That's
now.
exactly what I tell them. I go, I munch habaneros like candy. So... Well, I don't obviously do that. But I'm like, there's a huge amount of fucking middle ground between, is this spicy? I'm like, here's what I say. Do you find black pepper spicy? And they sometimes look at me like I'm an asshole or, yes. Then don't order anything. I'll give you a soda. Shut the fuck up.
Don't order anything.
Oh, my fucking God. It was kind of weird the other night. I had a manager actually say to me, he set this table, and he set him somewhere, and they moved to another area just right away, and I kind of saw it, but he comes up to me and goes, be a fucking dick to these people. And I'm like, absolutely.
Wow.
And later on, I asked him, what the fuck was the deal? He said, well, I tried to seat them in this area. They hated it. They bitched at me. And so I went and put them in this area, and they literally walked away and sat themselves somewhere else. So he was kind of like, fuck this. And I wasn't really mean, but I was really condescending because we have certain programs that are intertwined that sound like other. We have a free program. You know how you go to Red Robin and you're like, be a member and you get a card and you sign up and we email you coupons, and all these people are doing this stupid shit. And we have programs that cost money. Like if you go to Hales Ales in Seattle, there's a Brewmasters Club, and you pay a certain amount a year and you get more beers or some shit like that. And so there's different fucking programs. So explaining this to old people, they think they automatically have the one that gives them, free shit, which they have to pay for. And so I was just kind of explaining to this guy, you seem like you don't know what you're fucking talking about. I mean, re-explain to you, did you pay for this? And the guy's like, yeah, I did. I just kind of, being condescending to him. And I was actually trying to piss this guy off. I really was. And I was kind of, his kids were dorky, douchey fuckwads, so I was kind of making fun of them at the same time. And the wife kept laughing. Like, she thought it was fucking funny. She's like, ha 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 ha. So I'm like, yeah, man, I'm trying to piss this guy off. He actually wrote in the next day about me. About how I was condescending to him and fucking kept saying I had to pay for the program he offered because he didn't have the proof that he paid for it. He just thought I magically knew it. And the thing about this is, servers are not fucking secretaries. If you paid for some program or you have some issue or you want some fucking coupon that you don't have on you, we can't pull out of our ass. You know what I mean? And that's a pain in the ass because we're dealing with a bunch of fucks like you. We don't have time to go to a computer and fucking type in something and then fucking, find your coupon. Honestly, I'm getting sick of this shit. I'm getting sick of stores and people letting other people get away with fucking not bringing coupons and giving the store the work. The store printed out the coupon. They send it to you. Balls in your fucking court. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just come in. Well, I saw it in the newspaper and I don't have it, but I think I should have this.
Go get the fucking newspaper.
I agree.
And for all these people that bitch about shit, I mean, if you don't want to pay for a sit-down service, go to fucking McDonald's. You obviously don't care enough. And...
Well, in sit-down service, it is an experience. You're paying for the server to come up and talk to you. You're paying for, the pre-busing. Those are all supposed to be expectations in your mind to happen in the restaurant. Not something to ruin your experience when you walk into and try to change the fundamental aspect of the way the place runs so that you can get off on that.
Oh.
Like a minor power trip, I guess, bossing around servers, get them to do what you want.
Well, that's the deal. Some people do have control issues, and they go to food service industry and places, whether it's a bar or whatever serves them, and just to control people because they have this idea that customer's always right. So it leads them to believe, hey, I could boss this fucking poor sap around and fucking make him feel like shit to make me feel better.
See, I like the other mentality on that one. The customer has the right to be wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
Which means, yeah, you're wrong, but we're going to explain that to you. We're not going to be upset at you, but that doesn't mean we're all of a sudden just going to make your wildest dreams come true just because you can spout off whatever you want and have a tirade outside the restaurant. I got one.
There we go. Please go for it.
So, another big top, I guess. So, I guess this place that I was working at, they had another facility to where they were offering a tour. And this group had gone on the tour, and then they came into the restaurant. And I was working up at the front desk as a manager at the time, and they were telling the hostess that they had a reservation. Well, when it came down to it, and I looked through the reservation book, they didn't have any. I checked with all the managers that were there for that day, and they had no recollection of the event. So then I talked to the guy, and was saying, no, I'm sorry, we don't have the reservation. I'm like, who did you make it with? And he's like, oh, we made it with the other facility. The person that gave us the tour. Well, it just so happened that that person was in the restaurant at that moment. So I walked up to them, and I was like, hey, did you give this guy a reservation? We had something fall through the cracks, whatever. And he goes like, no, we didn't promise that guy anything. If anything, I would just tell him to leave. And I was like, wow. So he apparently left a great impression. I could already tell he'd been drinking, but I was trying to just diffuse the situation with a full lobby with families and children. So I go up, and I'm trying to calmly explain to him that there's no reservation on the books. I'm sorry, you didn't actually have something guaranteed. I can put you down on the wait list, but I do have people that have come in before you. He's like, well, how long is that going to be? And he's all pissed off.
How long?
So I tell him 2 hours. And honestly, I know a lot of places end up giving away that term like 2-3 hours to try to deter the party. Mm-hmm. In this moment, that was a God-honest estimate. I had just sat large parties before them, and he just blew up in my face, started calling me motherfucker, cocksucker, everything in the name in the lobby. And I'm trying to remove him from the lobby. I'll walk to the side. I was like, you can curse at me away from all these people. But I eventually ended up having to tell him to leave, and I was like, we're not going to see you. You're just going to have to go. Oh, I'll write in. Yes, you do that. You're still not eating today.
That's funny. You know what's weird is the customer's always wrong. One of our colleagues who hopefully I think is going to be on a couple weeks, because I wanted a female's perspective on a topic of assholes constantly hitting on female servers, because dudes have this thing, because I bitch about chicks a lot, but dudes have this thing, if they go into a restaurant and they fucking see some cute server and they're nice to them because it's their fucking job, they automatically think, oh, they want to fuck me. You know what I mean? Especially because, okay, we live in Seattle, so we're right across from this Bremerton fucking Navy base, and so these Navy cats will come in and just be total fucking dickbags.